Hi guys, I just want to talk a little bit about Wakanda Forever. So, this is part of the whole Pan-African agenda to deceive black people into worshiping fallen angels, orishas, Egyptian god and goddesses. They're trying to put it all into one bowl and mix it all up and say this was you before you came over here, but the truth is that's not true of everyone, and it's definitely not true concerning all of our DNA for most of us. So I personally have ties to the Hebrews. I also have ties to Hamitic tribes. However, I know that the prophecies have been passed down to me because I can hear the voice of Yah and I can open the Bible and whatever it is right there. The prophecies are in me. And he said the prophecies are passed down to who? The Yehudites. And that might even mean Israel as well in general. But anyway, so this bloodline is probably relatively recent. And, my mom was a believer and my grandma. And so we come from a lineage of at least Christians, even though we come from Hebrews as well. So I want to say this because black people don't know the difference. They haven't done much research, and they go with the first research that they see, which is typically going to be concerning spiritualism. A lot of people try to say, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Okay, but when you are worshiping fallen angels, aka orishas, aka Egyptian goddesses, you are partaking in a religion, and it's the worship of these deities. This is what they were doing in Egypt. This is what they were doing in West Africa, South Africa, Central, all over Africa, all over the world. In fact, let me tell you a little bit about Bastet. So Bastet is a cat deity because cats were often worshipped in Egypt. They represented like protection and productivity and all these kinds of things. So Mr. Black Panther is representing Bastet. If you look at pictures of Bastet and you look at pictures of Mr. Black Panther, same deity. They show Orishas in the first Black Panther, all these kinds of things. Why? Because that is what they're alluding to. Now, people talk about worshiping ancestors. Ancestors are Orishas. In the West African religion that worships these Orishas, it literally says in their fables that Oludumare, the creator god, said that the angels were falling. And these angels that were falling were called Orishas. They are the ancestors. That's why you see them connecting with ancestors in the first Black Panther movie. That's why Bastet is being represented. So people want to say, okay, Christianity is the white man's religion. Well, let me educate you on that because these fallen angels are everywhere. They're in Greece, they're in Rome. Those are two white nations. They're in India, They're all over Africa, of course. They're in other religions across the world, So Artemis, who is the Greek goddess, the twin to Apollo, is the equivalent of Bastet. Artemis was said to be the goddess of nature. She had something to do with like child rearing and protecting children. But get this, there have been videos all over the world of people just dying suddenly. Like, I don't know, like the sudden death count has gone up in the last year or so. Artemis, the goddess of sudden death. Do you think there is a coincidence that these things are happening when Wakanda Forever comes out with Bastet, who is Artemis? Another thing about Bastet, she's not only the goddess of productivity or whatever, protection, she also is called the all-seeing eye. So, all this all-seeing eye, that on top of the pyramid, all that kind of stuff, that is in relation to her. That is where we are headed, the one world government, where the all-seeing eye will rule. They are basically bringing us back into Egyptian mythology, which is a mythology. These things are legit. They're bringing us back to fallen angel worship. That's why they're trying to get all the Africans in on it, including the Africans that already know that they're Hebrews, via people like Kyrie Irving, who's an omnis, which means, oh, I don't take part in one particular belief. I believe in them all. Sure, yeah, that's called New Ageism. That's what that is. And Anton LaVey said about New Ageism, give us our religion back. Who is Anton LaVey? The founder of the High Satanic Church. He's the high priest. So, when you say we're practicing a white man's religion, remember, Bastet is Artemis. Remember that Oshun is Ishtar. All right? Remember those things. Those are considered white people. Diana is the equivalent to Artemis as well. So, in the Bible, Diana was being worshipped by churches like the Corinthians and Timothy and that kind of thing. And what it was doing, they were putting women on a higher pedestal than the men. And not to push anyone away who is just tired of men and like tired of the freaking the world being ran by men. The father, when a man is obedient to him, he is supposed to be the head. Okay? He's the leader, that kind of thing. But these societies, they put women in charge who didn't know what they were doing. I mean, the men didn't know what they were doing either. They were worshiping fallen angels and that kind of thing. But it showed you the decay of the society because the men were no longer in charge. So, that's what they were doing in the Corinthians and the Timothy church. When somebody comes to you and tries to tell you you can't teach or whatever because you're a woman, it had to do with Diana worship and these women usurping authority from men that were teaching correctly with authority in God when they were not. It has nothing to do with women not being able to teach in general. Moving forward from that, basically, I'm just going to leave it with this. People need to choose who they're going to serve. You're either going to serve the all-seeing eye, the Bastet, the queen of sudden deaths, or you're going to serve the creator who even created all these freaking angels. They decided to rebel against the creator and fall. You might, for that reason, be excelling for a little bit if you choose to worship the fallen angels, but at the end of it all, everyone else is going to be destroyed. They're either going to bow to the creator or they're going to be destroyed. That's just what it is. So, choose who you're going to serve because, I mean, how rude is it to worship the Father's creation and not him? It makes no sense. The reason why we have all the issues that we have in the world is because man has chosen to worship what the Father has created over him. People always complain, why is there so much killing? Why is there so much stealing? Etc., etc., etc. God told you not to steal. He told you not to kill. Love your neighbor as yourself. If you do these kinds of things, then you're probably going to have much more successful lives, and the world will probably be a much better place. But you're not listening to the Father. You're listening to what everyone else is telling you. All these fallen angels and demons whispering in your ear all the time, telling you what to do, how to act, how to think, and that kind of thing. And that's the reason why we have all these issues in the world. But yeah, so things are going to continue to get worse. You know, a lot of people are going to die, unfortunately. I had made a video back in maybe March or something where I was telling people about how asteroids were going to hit the Earth. Maybe 3 weeks ago, all these videos started popping up on YouTube of people saying they're having dreams of asteroids hitting the Earth. Elon Musk, the other day, says a huge asteroid is going to hit the Earth. This is serious, guys. Like, let go of whatever it is that is holding you back from turning your life over to God. Because when he says 2/3 of the earth, that is not a lie. It's time to repent. It's time to turn to God. Whatever you're doing now does not matter. The flood is coming. So you guys be blessed. Have a good one. Bye.